Meghna, do you have a boyfriend?
No, sir.
Okay, why you don't have a boyfriend and how many boys are your friends?
Okay. I have so many friends as boys, but I don't have a boyfriend just because I haven't found one yet, the perfect one that I need. And so that it's the reason that I don't have a boyfriend, and even I have best friends of mine as boys.
Okay, suppose you find a boyfriend of your dreams. And of course, he's from other religion. And you confide hesitatingly with your father, Dad, he's my boyfriend. And perhaps I'm going to get married to her in days to come. I thought I will inform you because you truly confide everything with your dad. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
And somehow he doesn't like it. He says, over my dead body, because he's a bit orthodox, as I can make out. How will you handle this?
First of all, like, even I don't want to make my parents, like, if they are not okay, I don't know whether they are okay with it or not, but if they are not okay with it, I will think about it, because the social circumstances, the people around them, like, the society will blame them, of course. I don't think that interreligious marriage is a bad thing. It's a good thing. There is nothing like that. I try to convince him, and in most of the cases, I'm good at convincing people. So I think that I could even convince my dad in this case.
Good morning, boys and girls. Wonderful. It's very heartening to meet you all this morning. So today, there was a demand that girls, you always take the male candidates interview. You don't take the female candidates interview. And in fact, there were girls who were requesting for that. Today we have a girl candidate, and we are also doing the live interview of a female candidate. The procedure for girls and boys remains same. As I told you in my last video, there is slight difference whereas a repeater is concerned, but otherwise the interview process remains same. Okay? And what we do here, why this interview live procedure is very important, because in the end of the interview, to each and every candidate who comes for a long course, we tell his or her shortcomings. We also tell his or her strong points. We tell her which areas she needs to work. There are 15 officer-like qualities. We tell the candidate in which qualities she is generally good and in which qualities she needs to work. And we also advise how hereafter she should prepare for her SSB. So that's the reason the interview process becomes very important. The second point which I want to highlight is, it's my experience being part of the SSB system for more than 2.5 years, that candidates are most dreaded and scared of this interview. But I repeatedly tell them, please do not be so worried, so scared about the interview process. In fact, honestly speaking, it is the simplest one. The CIQs, which is called the comprehensive interview questions, are already known to you. Okay? And you have number of videos to see. Plus, you yourself get interviewed, which I think is an important step to know your own weaknesses. And after that, the interview process should be a scoring kind of test for you. And let me tell you, maximum people who score good marks or who pass is mainly because of the interview process, because they tend to score very high marks in that. So with that background, we are going to start the interview of a girl. As you are aware, the PIQ form is available with the interviewing officer, which it takes some time, approximately depending on the interviewing officer to interviewing officer, say anything around 1 minute to maybe 3 minutes, because he is quite used to it. One look will tell the interviewing officer everything about the candidates. What has been her educational background, which place does he or she belong to? How was her academic and extracurricular records? How many times she has appeared? Whether she has excelled in any field or not. All these are important details which an interviewing officer needs to know. You also know that one copy of this PIQ sheet is also available with the psychologist. Okay? Now, before we proceed, I will tell you about the marking system. In our interview here, which is a live interview, we encourage candidates also to mark the candidate. Though in the SSB, the interviewing officer gives marks out of 225, but here to simplify, to make you understand, we mark the candidate out of 100. Out of? And we encourage candidates to also mark the candidate because you are able to see his or her performance, how she is doing in various questions, whether she is listening properly, whether she is answering correctly, how is her general knowledge, what's her communication skill, what's her level of confidence. All these things doesn't need any expertise to judge. In fact, in everyday activity, you judge other person by these various activities. Understood? So you will mark her, and the marking is done out of 100. To simplify the procedure, we said anyone getting 50% and above, 50 or above is a pass. 45 to 50, he is a high average. 40 to 45 is just below average, and 35 to 40 is low average. Understood? Okay, and anybody getting less than 35 needs to work very, very hard. And personality is a variable factor. Let me tell you, if you work upon yourself the way we tell you, because our course here is not only for the SSB, but it's a personality development course. It's also an English speaking course. We give 3 packages in one course. And surprisingly, your marks and my marks will tally. Okay? If you honestly mark her, because you will not be off the mark. Okay. With that, we start.
Download the SSB SureShot app from Google Play Store to access courses for written exams like NDA, CDS and AFCAT. You can also find courses for SSB Personality Development and Spoken English. Apply the coupon code SIGNUP15 to get 15% off on your first purchase. Call us on 725-930-7111 for any queries.
May I enter, sir?
Please come in. Good morning, Meghna. How are you?
Fine, sir. Good morning.
How's the day for you today?
It was nice, sir.
You are okay?
Yes, sir.
Please sit down. So, Meghna, I can see your PIQ form. You are from a beautiful place of Kerala.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Tell me why Kerala is called the land of gods.
So it was the Tourist Minister of Kerala gave that tagline to Kerala, like the God's own
Can
country.
you speak a little louder?
Okay, sir. So the Tourist Minister of Kerala once gave that tagline to the Kerala called as the God's own country due to its greenery and the it's like the heaven. It's due to the greenery and the art forms and all of that. So after that it became a tagline, and that's why it's always called the God's own country.
Okay, Meghna. You know, there is a mythological story also about it. Why it is called God's own country? What is that mythological story?
The story of that, you mean the story of Parashuraman forming that?
Yeah. It is because of that it is called. Am I right?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, so the Parashuraman had, when the Parashuraman was in search of a land for the Brahmins, and he had thrown his axe towards the sea, and from that axe a land came up from the sea and the other part was sea, and that was devoted to the Brahmins, and that's why it's called the God's own country.
Okay. If I ask you that which all historical or tourist places are there? Which will you name the first four and why?
So the major tourist places in Kerala is like the Alappuzha, the houseboating. That is one of the famous tourist place. So that there are rare places where the houseboating is available these days, and it's one of the luxurious things and beautiful thing that one can enjoy. So where the 24 hours will be the houseboating, and you can enjoy the sightseeing and all that. So that is a major attraction for tourists in Kerala.
Okay, I told you to tell me 4 places minimum.
Okay, then the beaches in Kerala, and in Trivandrum there is the Shankamugam beach, and there are so many different temples. Like in Trivandrum there is the there is a famous temple, I don't remember its name, and Guruvayur is another temple, and then there is Adirapalli waterfalls in Kerala. Then there is in Calicut, there is the Calicut beach and the Mananchira, and all these are the famous
Okay,
places.
since you are studying in Calicut,
Yes.
there is another very famous place where the first man from the European country landed there. What is that place and why?
Kapad beach, sir.
Yeah,
Kapad beach, sir.
okay. Who was that person who came and when?
Vasco da Gama, sir, and he came in 1848 or something.
1848, there were
In
so many.
The second time he came was 1456. I don't remember the right.
Okay, you may like to check up because it's just in the neighboring place from your school. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Because you have written that you are studying in Calicut. Okay. Okay. And Kerala for the last about couple of years is flooded very frequently. Can you tell me 3 reasons why these Kerala is getting flooded? It is a man-made or God-made?
I suggest that it is man-made, even if there is the rainfall is really high, but still the water transportation and the water conservation systems are not at all really developed. So the path route for the water for the path route of the water is not at all developed. It is congested, and the construction is like really high. The construction rate is really high, so that the movement of the water is not possible. And another major reason that happened in the flood is the landslides, and that the major reason for that was the deforestation, mainly in the rubber forest that is available in, especially in Malappuram in the Nelambur region. So they had cut the rubber trees, due to which when the water comes there was landslides, and these are the major reasons.
Okay. And Malappuram comes too much in the news. Tell me why.
So these days, due to the landslides, the Nelambur was really affected. That's one of the major reasons. And in the advantage part, the Malappuram is like the most literacy rate district in Kerala. So always in 10th, there is 100% pass from Malappuram. And then it is really a football fan center of Kerala. There are so many football coaching centers, and there are emerging players also. So in the football season, it is really in news. Then the other major things are, then in Malappuram, the father of the Malayalam literature is from Malappuram, and these are the major reasons for Malappuram.
Okay, Meghna, let's now go to your education and various other activities. I would like to know very briefly, how have you done academically? And also tell me about your extracurricular activities. Tell me what has been your favorite subject, particularly in 12th class and upwards, and also tell me the subject which you did not like. Tell me who was your favorite teacher and why, and also tell me the teacher whom you did not like. I would also like to know about your friend circle and who have been your close friends, and what kind of friends you like and what kind of friends you do not like. Tell me about your role model, who should be outside your home, and why he is your role model. What is your future plan? What all examination you appeared after 12th class, and what are you doing at present? Go ahead.
So I did my 10th standard from Sri Valunad Vidya Bhavan in Malappuram. I had scored 10 CGPA in my 10th, and after that I did my 12th. It was an integrated batch with NEET coaching. So it was in Thrissur, Kailasnatha Vidyaniketan. So and in 12th I scored 75% mark, and I had appeared for NEET, JEE, AIMS examinations, and then my friend circles, like I have few wonderful people around me as my friends. I have persons that have my friends from 13 years and even the persons that are from 2 years. So I am close to all of those, and I'm not a person who will be friend with everybody, but I have bunch of you with whom I always maintain the contact. And talking about the extracurricular activities, I like delivering speeches and extempors and debates, so I used to frequently participate in that. In 10th standard, I got state 3rd prize in extempore in Hindi and state district 2nd prize in English. Then in sports, I like racing, 100 meter and 200 meter races, and I even do swimming and badminton. That's just a pastime activity, not professionally. And then other hobbies that I have is like cooking. I really love that. And then talking about my ambition, I wanted to, like, I think that my strong point is on my words and my speech. So I wanted to take up a career where I can speak and I can bring out a change through my words. So like I either want to go in an educational sector like a lecturer or a speaker, something like that. And talking about my favorite subject, English is my favorite subject. I have taken up my career in English, and there was no subject like that. I didn't hate any subject, even if I scored a little mark in a subject, but then also I don't hate. But comparatively, I don't like Sanskrit. I had studied Sanskrit for 11 years, but the fact is that they are teaching it in a materialistic way. Like even after studying 11 years, none of us could write an essay or give a speech on Sanskrit. We are just by hearting the words, so I don't like that system. My favorite teacher is Riju sir. He taught me in my +1, +2 in the integrated batch NEET coaching. He was a chemistry teacher. He is an IIT graduate, and he is really optimistic and really enthusiastic towards his job. And he's a divine person. From my childhood onwards, I really give importance to my teacher. They play a major role. So he give really importance to his children. He give individual attentions to children, and he know the strength and weaknesses. So like he call us individually and will try to solve our issues. So he is the greatest teacher that I have seen. And as I mentioned, like from my childhood onwards, we are taught like Guru Devo Bhava. So I don't hate any teacher, even if they have scolded me or something, it would be for my betterment. So I don't hate any teacher.
Okay.
And as I mentioned, I want to join, I want to take up a career that is in speaking section, and I am trying to clear my SSB so as to opt the educational course. And then presently I am doing my graduation at BA English Literature from Devagiri College, St. Joseph College, Devagiri.
Okay, you told me that English seems to be your favorite subject and you want to pursue a career
Yes, sir.
in teaching. Can you tell me why Shakespeare was famous? Tell me about his 4 books or 4 dramas which he has written. Which era he lived, and what is his contribution as far as English language is concerned?
So Shakespeare is always called as the father of the English literature. He is the greatest writer or dramatist that the era has been seen, and he is still famous because his writings are still applicable even after this. He is a writer from 16th century and this is 21st century, and still it is equally applicable. And he is he have invented new words, new style of writing. So there is a separate study for Shakespearean writings. So, and the major writings of Shakespeare, he is a great writer. His dramas are like Hamlet, Macbeth, then King Lear, and he have written so many sonnets, like 156 sonnets he have written, in which sonnet 29 is one of my favorites. It's about friendship, and so he is a romantic writer, and that's all about Shakespeare.
So which place did he belong to?
He is from Italy. He is from I don't know the correct place.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. And you told me, tell me which drama did you like the most and why?
Hamlet.
Why?
Hamlet is one of my favorite. So the major part of the Hamlet is to do or not to do that line. So it symbolizes the wavering nature of our mind.
Okay.
So and it's so wonderfully written, and I really loved that.
Okay. So you want to pursue a career in education.
Yes, sir.
But why have you chosen Army Education Corps? What do you know about the Education Corps? Can you tell me who is the senior-most or the highest officer of the Army Education Corps? What is his rank? And tell me how Education Corps contributes in the functioning of the armed forces.
So, from my childhood onwards, I really wanted to join army. Even my brother wanted to be an IAS officer, so he used to catch up the information about everything, the general knowledge. I am not that much good at reading, so he used to tell me about all these, and I was really fascinated by all this, the adventurous life of the army men, the respect that they gain, the selfless service towards the nation, and of course the perks and all that matter. So, I was really drawn towards the army. And as I believe that my strength is more on my words, so I opted educational corps as a position which I chose. I don't know who is the highermost position in the educational corps, but they are teaching the subjects like physics, then the physics and the other subjects like the map reading and English is also been taught in the educational course. So actually, like, I don't want to be limited towards just the educational corps and teaching those people. I want to be like separately putting the online classes. I can do that, and as you are a major general, and when you speak you get the more respect and people give more importance to that. You have a power, so like the power factor really matters, and the listener, the number of listeners and the people giving importance towards your words, it's really great change. So if I am in the army, it will be a catalytic device towards my success, towards completing my dream, and I think that people will take me more seriously, so I can make a change.
Okay. Tell me, if I ask you, where is the center of the Army Education Corps?
I don't know.
Okay, never mind. And can you tell me, suppose you get selected, how you will get trained, for how long, and how, whether you join the Army Education Corps directly, or it is that you have to join something else before and then you join. What is the process? Tell me.
I should complete post-graduation for that.
Okay.
And I don't know the right amount of training I get. Only after coming here, I was known about all the regiments of the army.
Okay.
So only within these few days, I was not at all knowing about the regiments. So now
Okay.
only like I just researched about all this, and I find that this is the best thing I know.
That's
so
the reason I asked you a very simple question. Okay, I will ask much simpler question. Can you tell me the rank structure of the army from colonel downwards?
Colonel, brigadier.
Colonel is senior or brigadier is senior?
I don't know, sir. I have forgot. I actually studied, but I forgot the rank.
Okay, I'll simplify it further. Can you tell me only 3 ranks chief downwards? Chief of the army staff, he's of general rank, and what is the next rank?
Major, chief marshal, then
Okay, you need to brush up your knowledge
Yes, sir.
before you really come for the SSB interview
yes, sir.
about the armed force, because these questions may be asked to you. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. You said you are very keen sports girl. You participate in 100 meter, 200 meter. Can you tell me what is the Olympic record of 100 and 200 meters, and who represented India in these 2 events in the last games, Asian Games or in the Olympics? And tell me who is the champion of in India who's got the least timings in 100 and 200 meter?
The world champion is Usain Bolt. It's 8.2 seconds for the 100 meter. I don't know the Indian champion, sir.
Are you sure he's got 8.2 for 100 meters?
Yeah, I think so, sir. Yeah, yes, sir.
What is your timing for 100?
14 seconds, 15 seconds.
Okay,
13,
14. Means by the time you run 100 meters, Usain Bolt would have run 200 meters, you mean?
Yes,
Isn't so?
yes.
Okay. Don't you think you are rather slow?
Yes, like actually our school was not at all that sports promoting school. So like we didn't have that much, we didn't have at all any coaching. So like I just participated. It was just thing like you just participated and just if you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. There was no training. So I couldn't like improve myself much in the sports. But
Okay.
yeah.
What is this timing for 200 meters?
200 meters, I don't remember. So I participated only, I stopped participating after 9th standard.
Okay,
so.
doesn't matter. Okay, Meghna, let's move to your family. I would like to know how many family members are there, what kind of activities you do at home. I know you have a very well-knit family. So whom do you share your problems with? Who is closest to you in your home? What kind of activities you do at home and your neighborhood? Tell me what you like the most about your mother and why. Also tell me 3 things you appreciate in your father and 3 things which you like him to improve. Who's your role model at home and who's your role model outside? I would like to know a little bit of your role models. Yeah.
So in my home, my father is a central government employee. He's working at the Spices Port office, Calicut. My mother is a housewife. I have an elder brother. He is doing, he completed his post-graduation in English and he is doing B.Ed now. And the favorite quality that I like about my mother is like she is really strong in her speaking words and in her language, and she sticks to the point and she is a perfectionist. And I have like my grandmother has 5 children, so we have a joint family, so we used to get together. I have few beautiful bunch of cousins, so we are really close. So we every year we used to have minimum 2 trips outside from the whole almost 17 people in the whole. So it's really nice, and every vacation we used to get together. Even yesterday there was the get together of my whole family there, as it is Onam. And I'm more close to my mother in my house. Like I share more my problems more to my mother because we have much more connect, like we have so many things in common. Then as my father is in Calicut, he only comes home in weekends, so like other times I will be talking to him phone. So like that's why I like talking to my mother more. And my father, the 3 qualities of my father that I like is that he is really a peace loving person, he is really organized, and he is really positive always. And the 3 qualities that I don't like is he is not at all adventurous. Then he is little bit more protective about me, as he is not at all adventurous, so he's scared. Not he is possessed or he don't allow me to do anything, but he always put me like you let have another option. But that also is an advantage for me. I will always have a plan B because of him. And he don't talk that much. So I am really a talkative person, so I have heredited that character from my mother. So like we are really entirely opposite, but he is a sweet person. So these are the characters I like and I don't like. And the role model from my family is my grandmother. So she became a widow in a very young age, and she had 5 children, 4 of them were girls, 1 boy. So my youngest aunt was just in 6th standard when my grandfather died, and even her father died within a 1 year, and 2 of her brother died. So there was a lot of death in my family that time, and there were only my grandmother and great grandmother. So they just grew up all these 5 children in very, she didn't just put her leg backward, not even one time, not even step backward. She was so courageous and bold. She taught them, she gave them best education that they could. They are in best position, and like she had her only motto, like they will be married to the person that are having government jobs. Okay, so
okay.
Like,
okay, understood, Meghna. I generally got that. Can you tell me, in today's world, why do you think your father is overprotecting about you? Why doesn't that curtail your freedom of action?
No, sir. Like and he should be like today's world is the scariest place and in today's era. So of course he would be, I'm a girl child, and he never cut my wings. Like even before coming to the SSB training, it was my first time and going out of the state and staying alone. So he was a bit concerned. He was like, physical and all, I'm not that much sports person, so like you won't be able to, and he was concerned. But I told him like this is a personal development thing and personality development, so then he allowed. So he never plucked my wings. He used to research much about that, just get more idea whether the safety is good enough for me. So it was a strong point for me, and I never blame my father for that. He is the best father that I could get.
Okay. You call this world very scary place,
Yes.
and because of that your father is protective.
Yes, sir.
Why do you call this world a scary place? Most of the people call it a beautiful place. Yeah.
So like the world is beautiful place. Of course we know that is the best creation of the of the God, and like the world is beautiful. It's not just the surroundings, it's the people that is the world matters. And now the people, the character is changing. Like when a girl is just putting her shoulder on another person, she is fearing like whether what will be the next stage of that person will be. Like it has drastically changed. I'm not saying that everybody is like that, but you should have a protection thing always with you. And I don't blame the men for that, even they are suffering. But like it has become, there are so many fake heads, and you don't know when something will pop out.
Okay, then how in these circumstances is allowing you to join the armed forces?
So like as we are part of all this, like we should move forward. It's not just like we put a pepper spray in our bag and we just, or we escape from the things. We should face it. And of course, being an army officer, I will get the physical training and all those and the respect. And I think that I could bring changes, and you should hope for best. Like even if it's a dark room, you should just help the light with your shadow and you should walk. So I think we should like act together, and we should make itself a better
Okay.
place.
Meghna, do you have a boyfriend?
No, sir.
Okay. Why you don't have a boyfriend, and how many boys are your friends?
Okay. I have so many friends as boys, but I don't have a boyfriend, just because I haven't found one yet, the perfect one that I need. And so that it's the reason that I don't have a boyfriend, and even I have best friends of mine as boys.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Suppose you find a boyfriend of your dreams, and of course he is from other religion, and you confide hesitatingly with your father, Dad, he is my boyfriend, and perhaps I am going to get married to her in days to come. I thought I will inform you, because you truly confide everything with your dad. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
And somehow he doesn't like it. He says, over my dead body, because he's a bit orthodox, as I can make out. How will you handle this?
First of all, like even I don't want to make my parents, like if they are not okay, I don't know whether they are okay with it or not, but if they are not okay with it, I will think about it, because the social circumstances, the people around them, like the society will blame them, of course. I don't think that interreligious marriage is a bad thing. It's a good thing. There is nothing like that. I try to convince him, and in most of the cases, I'm good at convincing people. So I think that I could even convince my dad in this case.
But you know, the boyfriend of a dream you get only once in a life. But since he has made such a comment over my dead body, so will you forego, or how will you handle? You haven't answered me.
What, sir? What?
I said, now you say that since you have got the man of your dreams, but your father is deadly against it. So what is the course of action for you? That is not clarified by you. Either you leave the boy, or you will say, Father, I am going this way only, because it's seldom that you get a chance to live with a man of your dreams.
I will not only just thinking about the man of the dreams, I will try to get more information how that person really is, because dreams keep on changing, okay? So
he is, because you know him now, you have been seeing him for the last 2 years, you know he's a perfect match.
So then maybe I will go with him. and later only, but I don't leave my parents if the, and as it's I believe that like even if you have a parent relation, it's just that it's just a mode of coming towards the world. Every person is individual, so all those are secondary, so my life is first. So if he is that I will give importance to my life. So I will give importance to my life and my choices. So
Okay, okay. Let's move on from there, Meghna. Now, what I would like to know from you is how do you pass your spare time, what hobbies you have, how much time you spent on your internet or various TV programs or books or any other habit you have. How do you pass exactly your time day to day? And tell me, on a holiday, what's your routine? And if you get about 4 or 5 days holidays, how do you plan to spend that holidays?
So, my hobbies, I really like cooking. So, most of the time I used to experiment on new things and I like cooking. And I like listening to music, and then I even play badminton with my brother. And as a meditation, I really love doing skipping and thinking. So, like if I'm stressed, I used to skip and think. So, skipping is also the thing that I do. And in holidays, I used to, mostly in holidays, I used to wake up at a time of 8 or something, 7:38. I used to wake up late because after my 10th, I am hostler, so only in the long holidays I used to come home. So then in these days I used to try spending more times with my parents. I used to talk to my brother, my parents, we have a discussion. So in our home, like we used to sit and discuss in the dining table, we used to have long conversation. So that is the major thing that I do. And in internet, I use internet really well, but as I said, I really love English, so I use internet, I use the YouTube, I use the e-reader. I'm more comfortable, I'm not a keen reader actually, reading books, I'm more comfortable through the modern era of reading and the literature. So there are so many things like stand-up poetry, stand-up speakers, stand-up storytelling and bloggers, and you can read books through internet, and I'm more interested to the film study, and like if the novel is converted to a film, I'm more interested to do that. So I spend time on the web series or other things, so in the internet, and these are the things that I do.
Okay, okay, let me ask you, Meghna, suppose we make you the advisor to the Prime Minister, okay, and you have the authority to change 3 things in the country. What would you like to change and why?
First of all, I wanted to take bring out the uniform civil code that is not based on the social, reservation should not be based on socially.
The first thing what you want to do is that remove reservation basically.
Based on socially, it should be an
okay,
economic.
and based on economic factor you want to have that, okay?
Yes.
That's what you want to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what else?
Then as the startup is, Narendra Modi has already introduced the startup system, and I really wanted to more emphasize towards that, towards the startup system. And in the educational system, the educational system in our country is really backward. Even the exams like IIT, JEE, it's one of the toughest exam in the whole world. But the people who are cracking IIT are not getting jobs. Even the crackers of IIT are not getting jobs in India, or they are flying out. Even they have pay packages. So I wanted to improve the education system. Like in the countries like Finland, they reduce the homework, and there is a lot of stress. I have been gone through that stress in my +1, +2 time. Preparing for an exam like IIT or a NEET, and after that you are not getting a job that is worthy.
So it is due to the scarcity of the job, it is an unemployment problem, or it is an education problem?
Both, sir. The way it is, the way things are taught, it should be more applicable. The theoretical teaching should be abolished, and the application of the things should be
understood. What is the third thing you would like to do?
And also the job opportunities that will be provided, we should give much pay perks and other things, so that the students from the higher colleges are not flying out of the country, so that we can improve the whole infrastructure and the development of the country.
Okay, can you tell me what is NATO stands for, and what is SAARC stands for, and what is ASEAN, and what is the difference between them?
I don't know, sir.
Okay, tell me any one of them at least. Sag, Ashan. They are quite commonly used words.
I don't know, sir.
Okay, I will ask you a very simple question. Tell me the neighboring states of Himachal.
Huh?
Tell me the neighboring states of Himachal Pradesh.
Uttarakhand, then
Tell me their capitals along.
Uttarakhand,
Yeah.
Dehradun,
And Himachal.
Himachal, I don't know, sir.
Okay, which are the other states?
I don't know, sir.
Okay. Where is Himachal, by the way? Where is Himachal, by the way?
In the eastern side,
In the eastern sector,
northeastern sides.
northeastern side. So you feel that even Uttarakhand is also in the northeast?
Uttarakhand is sharing a border with Himachal. I don't know. Uttarakhand is sharing borders with Tibet, Nepal, Himachal, and
So where should be Himachal?
Himachal is in the north, like in this part of the map, the northeastern. Not in the eastern, towards just in this curve part of the.
Okay. With your hand, it is very difficult to understand. I can only understand north, east, west, south. Anyway, let's move on and come to the latest topic which is being hotly debated. What is Article 35 and 370? Hot topic. What is it? How will you explain it very briefly to me? And whether you favor this decision? If yes, why?
I favor this decision, sir. So, according to the Article 370, the Kashmir is having a particular power, whether the Kashmir is having its own separate constitution, its own separate flag, then the legislature thing, and only the Article 370 and the Article 1 of Indian Constitution is applicable to the Kashmir. And according to Article 35A, an Indian is not able to buy a land or in Kashmir, even if in a resident of Jammu and Kashmir is able to become even the president of India, but an Indian is not able to buy the land. So, like they were not getting the enough all the system, like there were so many separatists and the political parties were really horrible in the Kashmir, and the POK issue in the Pakistan had major influence, and there were so many growing terrorists. So, and they were not, the students were not able to avail the educational sanctions that are provided from the Indian government, and the education system in Kashmir is really weak. So it's really good that it's abolished, and Article 370 and 35 is abolished, and now Kashmir is a union. In Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh are two separate union territories, and they are in the then they are in the union territories, and the India have the rule over that, and the delimitation is also a major good thing that should be done, so that.
Okay. Okay. Can you tell me now what are your 3 strong points and 3 shortcomings?
Okay. So, I am confident, I don't have stage fear, then I really stick on my points, I don't fear to expressing my points, and yeah, and I am proud of the person I am, whatever it may be.
Couldn't get that?
Like whatever the characters I am, I'm proud of that. Like
Okay.
I don't have any inferiority complex about
Okay.
that. And the weak thing is that sometimes I am a bit.
You told me only 2. Tell me one more strong point.
I'm talkative. Then,
Talkative.
Yeah.
Okay. This is, you call it a positive point?
Yes, sir. Like I think it's a positive. According to me, it's a positive.
It's a positive point. It
Yes.
means people who talk too much is a positive.
No, I don't mean like talk too much, but I like persons who talk.
Okay. Doesn't matter.
So, yeah.
Proceed.
And the weak points is that I am a bit short-tempered, and I should be a bit more organized. I try to be that, but after 10 days I lose the plans, and so I should be a bit more organized, and then sometimes the third weak point that I would say is I am not that much good at reading. So like So that is really a weak point for me. Like even if I'm a literature student, but I like more to like I like writing and my own version. So I can't concentrate on reading that much. So I'm trying to improve that. So that is also a weak point.
Why are you short tempered? What is the reason? Why you lose your temper? Or what issues?
I'm not always short-tempered, but I usually control. But when I'm in house or sometimes happen, like I'm really loud at my voice, so people think that I'm short-tempered. So when I speak out, like if I'm not able to make out point, I just increase my voice. So people normally think that I'm short-tempered.
Okay, my last question, Meghna, is one thing.
Suppose you have power of the God to change one thing in you and one thing in the country. What one thing you will change in the country, what you will change in yourself?
So of course the thing, like I really want to be a good reader, so I think that I get like I want more concentration towards reading, so that
Reading, okay. You will acquire the reading habit. What is the one thing you would like to change the country? You have the power for it.
I want to abolish the poverty from the country.
Poverty?
Yes.
Okay. And that will solve all problems in your opinion?
That may not be, but the poor are still suffering, and our country is like the richer the hands are only on the richer ones, and those poor, they are not getting up still. So even if they are having sanctions, and socially also they are backward. So I think like I want to speak up for them. So I think.
Okay. What is going to be your alternate career if you are not able to make it in the armed forces?
If I didn't if I'm not able to qualify the SSB, I will of course try it once more. And if I couldn't, then also like I wanted to do my post graduation in abroad in some good colleges. So and I take up in a career like lecturing itself. So something like that.
Okay, Meghna, that will be all. It has been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Don't forget to subscribe to our new channel SSB Short Plus for exclusive new videos. Also follow us on Instagram for all the latest updates. Check out a Short guide to crack SSB on Amazon. The link is in the description below.
Boys and girls, you saw the interview. Let me seek your opinion before 7 of you give your opinion. I would like all those who think she has passed, please raise hands. So there are 10 hands down. Okay. All those who think she has not made it, she needs some more preparation, she has not passed the interview process, please raise hands. (23) now. So it is 10 versus 23. And what about the remaining 7 people? They are neither this side or not that side. What do you say? Okay, she is borderline? Okay. Okay, that has been the result. Now we are going to ask 7 of you to give your opinion. Okay, how many are volunteers? Please raise hands. Very good. Okay, we'll start from one corner. 23. Yeah, give your comments.
Actually, her strength point was confidence, communication skill, her social factor, liveliness, and honesty. I felt she should be more aware about armed forces, and she was not at all aware about games and records. She told somewhere she was gone somewhere wrong in UCC, and she did not know about her own state and neighboring states also. And she did not know about her own strength and weakness. She should be knowing about all this, and the organization which is going on.
Okay, so you have passed her or failed her?
No sir, I failed her.
Failed her. Okay, out of 100, how many marks you have given?
40 sir.
40. Okay, down. Next. Yeah.
I've given her 35 out of 100, sir.
Okay.
Because she has a very good knowledge about her native place.
Okay.
Though she has a very good communication skill, but she lacks in social awareness, like the recent events happened in our country.
Okay.
And though she's not clearly committed about herself, that giving decisions sometimes she's saying like maybe or something she will try to, and that is not in army. We need clear commitment.
Okay.
So that's why I've only gave her 35.
35. Next.
Sir, I think she know about her and her family very well, but she is having some minor mistakes, which is like a general knowledge. She have to improve more about general knowledge, and she have to improve her geography also, and she have to improve our army also. Why? Because she is going to become an Indian Army officer.
Okay.
The core which she want to go join, she must have aware about that.
Okay.
That's
How many marks?
Sir, I will give 45, sir.
So she's not passed from your side, eh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, down. Yeah, that side. Yeah.
Sir, I have given her score 40 out of 100. Meghna has very strong, good communication skills and spontaneous answering, and her voice modulation, even though it was a bit confusing in the beginning, but later on, while the questions were regarding her personal questions, it was okay and she was catching it up. There are areas of improvement, like her hand movements. She could have made some gestures with her hands too, and response to unanswered questions. Instead of saying, "Sir, I don't know," she could have said, "Sir, I have to read on it." And response to the personal questions and general awareness. Obviously, she has to read on that, and armed forces too.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Please sit down. Yeah. One more comment? Yeah. Go ahead.
First of all, I congrats Meghna for being there till there. Okay. So the Meghna lacks in listening skills. When sir asked about your role model, she was not unable to answer it. So she lacks in listening skills, as well as when sir asked about her aim and ambition, she said that apart from armed forces, she wanted to be a literature. So she was in 50-50 position. So I say that you need to your communication skills were very good. So you need to focus on your ambition. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone more? One more? Yeah.
Meghna has attempted her interview in one of the best way. She was very spontaneous in giving answers, and she has also maintained the eye contact throughout the interview. But one of the main areas she lacks is the general knowledge. At least she should be knowledge about the area which she is going to be entered. But she is aware of, she is confident in what all answers she has given. Thank you. That's all.
So, boys and girls, after seeking your opinion, I'm going to give my comments. You know, Meghna was a fresher. I can make out what kind of preparation she may have undergone before this SSB, how much she know about the process, what was her personality, the originality factor in that, and various other things which I am going to comment now. Let me tell you, broadly speaking, what a calm, cool and collected girl Meghna is. Very original, lot of substance in her, and mark my words, this girl is going to do wonders in her life. She will do very, very well, mark my words, okay? She may not as of now be suitable exactly for the armed forces, but she is a girl of success. That is what my initial comments are. Now, the detailed comments. Yes, initially the girl was slightly with little bit of anxiety she came, because she has been sitting here for pretty long, and a bit nervous, I will call it. But gradually, immediately she was able to overcome everything, and she became very cool and confident. That was the beauty. Okay. She was straightforward. Overall, she displayed a pleasant personality. Okay. Now, coming to her, some of her weaknesses. Yes, her general knowledge is poor. I will mince no words. It's poor. Her knowledge of the army is lacking, much more is desired about her. She is coming for an interview. If you go for an interview of Infosys or for some technical job, obviously you'll find a lot of details, whereas she seems to be still unprepared for the army. She has got very vague picture of the armed forces and a bit vague picture of the selection process also. I could make out that, okay? Besides that, her body language, which some of you rightly commented, it was not up to the mark. You must have seen those hand gestures, etc., which need some improvement. And her listening skills were also low, because couple of times she left and couple of times I had to repeat what I had asked for. Yes, at places, towards the end particularly, her energy level also went little bit down. The energy which she displayed in between, that energy level she was not able to keep pace with, okay? Now, from the Service Selection Board point of view, we have 4 factors and 15 officer-like qualities. Her factor 1, I have cleared her. She is clear in factor 1, except little bit I have held her in her organizing ability. Her effective intelligence is good, fairly good. Reasoning ability, organizing ability I will hold little bit, and her power of expression is just flawless, good in fact, okay? Her factor 2 is superb. She is just clear cut. She can't stop in factor 2. What a wonderful girl she is. She is a family girl. All the people trust her in the family. She mixes around, and you could make out her friend circle, the way she described, her close friends, other friends. All this clearly pointed out a very strong factor 2, with very good sense of responsibility, a very high factor of social adjustment and cooperation. All the 3 qualities, she was just beyond, above the normal candidate can display, okay? Yes, her factor 3 is lacking, okay? She needs to work on, other than the self-confidence, she needs to improve on other issues, okay? But her liveliness factor, I will grade her more than average, just more than average, not very high, but more than average. She needs to improve upon her initiatives, her speed of decision, her ability to influence the group. Liveliness and confidence are well taken care of. Her factor 4 is just there, okay, is just there. Her courage factor, I have my doubts about it. She needs to participate in little bit outdoor activities, and the way she tackled with his father on her love affair, that courage factor, perhaps the moral and courage was slightly, I found, was required. Much more is required from that factor. But her determination is very good in the factor 4. That's why I told her she's neither pass nor fail, she's just there. So as of now, she has to work on her factor 3. She is a passable girl, and you'll be surprised the marks which I have given her. Shall I tell you? Yes, sir. I have given her 49. She got left out by just 1 mark. Had she displayed little bit more knowledge, more awareness, because such small questions she was not able to answer, like Himachal Pradesh, like, couple of other such general questions. Had she answered that, she would have certainly passed. But I promise you, she's a passable girl, and I bet she is going to crack the SSB. Whatever I have said from here about whoever candidate you heard last time, I told the same thing to a chap who had failed twice in the SSB. In the mock interview only, I told, by mistake you may have failed. You are a passable candidate. And he immediately passed after 10 days. Not even 10 days after, so he was just about to go for the SSB. He went and he declared, he said he is passed. Tejas is his name. Another example in front of you. Tejas number 2. He got through for the Air Force entry. Come here. Come in front of the camera. Come. Stand here. Look at them. Here is another candidate I interviewed, and I told, he stages number 2 from Kerala, and I told, you are going to pass right from the day one. I must have told, somebody rang up from his home, your son is just pass. There is no question this boy can fail. And look, he cleared the SSB. And he is going for another SSB. There is no question, because he is such a calm, cool, and straightaway above average boy, going to pass, because we need officers like him in the armed forces. Okay? Thank you, Tejas. Okay, with these comments, I end my mock interview. I am sure a lot of you guys are going to do pretty well in the days to come. Don't lose heart, and I promise you, anyone coming here, there is going to be a transformation in his personality, provided you people initiate the change. Okay? We are going to guide you. We are going to mentor you. We are going to initiate that inner engineering process in you. But ultimately, it's your passion which will give you the success, not we. Okay? We are just the initiators of that change. We want that passion in you, that zeal in you, that motivation in you, that dedication in you. I bet if you have that, nothing can stop you. Personality is a variable factor. You can improve your English, you can improve your personality, and you can transform yourself. I have seen that happening. And that's the reason the repeaters of 8 to 13 times pass. Why do they pass? Unfortunately, people do not introspect. Unfortunately, candidates do not know the process in detail and the purpose behind that process. Why a process is like that? What is expected of them? And how do they prepare for that? Not only we have trained for SSB, but we have trained you for life. We will be sure, we are sure that you are going to have that positive attitude in your life, where you can take control of your life. And that's the aim of SSB Short Academy. Is that understood? Yes, sir. Thank you.